Hey classmates, my name is Amy Heavner, and I will be doing my oral presentation on Louisa May Alcott. It's titled The Brothers, also known as The Contraband, or My Contraband. The reason why I chose this topic is because Louisa served as a nurse in a war military hospital. She only worked there for 6 weeks. She had no training as a nurse, but because the need was so great, they pretty much allowed anyone to come in and provide care for patients. With me being a nurse, I sparked some interest in this story, and so that's why I chose this. I first want to start out by giving a little bit of brief history about what led Louisa to start writing stories and what led to basically the story of the brothers. Louisa's family, at a very young age, her father struggled financially to provide income for his family. She saw that this caused conflict between her mother and father, and she basically wanted to do something about it. At a very young age, at 12 years old, she started writing stories and started sharing those stories with her 3 other sisters and a family friend. And soon after that, she started publishing her stories in a family newspaper where apparently the people that was reading it drew interest in it and they wanted to hear more from her. So she started actually getting income from that and became the breadwinner for her family and provided income. This was a big deal because back then women didn't have a whole lot of rights. And with her being such a young girl and a female, she was able to set the bar high for women. So the story that I'm going to be talking about is called The Brothers. It's basically a nurse. She names herself Dane in the story. She's working in a war military hospital, working very long hours. In the beginning, she notices this man sitting on the side of the bed. His name is Robert, and she noticed that she's very attracted to him. She's not sure why. She said he's got very attractive facial features, very slim, the way he held himself in that bed, the way he stared off. She was just very attracted to him. She later found comfort in, going up to him and started talking to him. But when she said that when he turned his head, that he had some scars on his face that basically showed that he wasn't so attractive as he originally was when she didn't see those scars. But it was probably because he was in the war and he was battled. But then after talking to him, she wanted to comfort him. But the whole time that he's sitting on that bed, she didn't know what he was thinking. He was actually planning revenge on someone that was deathly sick in that hospital that she had no clue about. I believe that he was waiting for her to fall asleep because she worked very long hours. And when she finally fell asleep later that night, she slept for a very short, brief time. He woke her up and he told her that he locked the door and the key was in his pocket. And basically there's nothing that she could do about it, that she couldn't even yell loud enough for someone to hear her. So you can imagine how scary that was, that, before she fell asleep, she was very attractive to this man. And now this man is almost there to hurt someone. And she didn't know who it was. She didn't know if it was her or someone else in that hospital. All she knew was she was trapped in that room. He later told her that he was seeking revenge on this man that was in this hospital bed. He was diagnosed with typhoid disease, which was a disease that was common then, and in the end it was fatal. But he was wanting revenge for some reason on this man. He shared that he was looking for his pregnant wife, that he didn't know where she was at, but the man that was laying in that bed knew exactly where she was. So she, after finding out that this man, Robert, was going to end up killing the man that was sick, she convinced him that this was not the Christian way to do things and that he should find forgiveness in his heart and forgive this man and move on, let it go. That she would do everything in her power to find Lucy and to help him find Lucy. She convinced Robert to leave and move to Massachusetts and she gave him money to help him leave. After he agreed to leave, she later went to the sick man that was in the bed that was dying. She told Robert earlier that he should just let fate kill this man because the disease was going to kill him anyways. That he shouldn't have that blood on his hands. So when she went and talked to this man that was dying, she found out that Lucy was dead. She killed herself, and that the two of them were brothers. And I think that's why the title of this story is called The Brothers, because Robert and then the man that's dying from the typhoid disease is laying in the bed. They are brothers, and he was wanting revenge on him because he knew that his brother had something to do with his wife, but he couldn't find her. It doesn't really go in great detail about why Lucy killed herself, but all we know is that she's no longer here, and that Dane, the nurse, is going to have to tell Robert that she's no longer living. So after serving as a nurse in this war hospital, she ended up moving to Massachusetts, and they found each other on this ship. Robert joined the military, and he was deathly wounded, and she was on the ship. She told him about Lucy and how Lucy killed herself. She cared for Robert as he was on his deathbed too, because he was wounded in this military war. And so I think the whole story showed romance, and it also showed compassion and caring as a nurse that Dane was offered to be able to provide for Robert, and was able to help him make the right decision not to kill anyone, and to be able to have compassion for one another and forgiveness. If you would like to read this story, it's found in our book on page 1333. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Blackboard. Thank you.